यो सत्यभावेन परमेश्वरम उपासते यथा सामर्थ्यम tada आज्ञाम पालयन्ति. One who worships that Paramatma, yo satya bhavena, with the satya bhavana. The most important thing in worship is bhavana. We must have satya bhavana. We must not have juta bhavana. That means we must not do formality with Paramatma. We must not have formality during the upasana call. During the rest of the day, we might do formalities with other people, but when we sit for upasana, we cannot do formality with Paramatma. We must do the worship of Paramatma. Yo satya bhavena Parameshwara upasate. We must have satya bhavana during the upasana of Parameshwar, and also yata samarthyam tad agyam palayanti. Yata samartya means yata shakti se. Based on our yata shakti, based on our own capability and capacity, tada agyam palayanti. We must try to follow the agya of Parameshwar. Agya in English we can say as instructions. What is the instruction of Paramatma? Instruction of Paramatma, there are two instructions. Number one, Ved, and number two is Agam Praman. Agam. Agamas means the words of Rishi Munis. Number one is following the Vedas, and number two is the following the instructions of Rishi Munis who have attained Samadhi. So, these two are also part of worship. One is Satya Bhavena Parameshwaram Upasate. With the Satya Bhavana we must do Upasana. And second one is with Yata Samarthyam Agyam Palayanti. We must try to follow the instructions of Paramatma. Then what happens? The result is given by Paramatma in the mantra. This is the commentary written by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati for a Ved mantra. I will chant that Ved mantra towards the end of this video. To make this video more interesting, I am not chanting the mantra in the start because you might not see the full video. Because you all know that Ved mantra. But I just want to start from the Bhavartha Bhashya and then connect to the Ved mantra so it becomes interesting also for all of us. Sarvopari satkartavyam paramatmanam manyante. Simply, easily understandable. Sarvopari satkartavyam paramatmanam manyante. We are Paramatma ko mante hain hum. Manyante. Paramatma ko mante hain means we accept Paramatma's existence everywhere. We accept that the Paramatma is Almighty. We accept that Paramatma is just, that means Nyayakari. We accept that Paramatma is omnipresent and is present inside us and seeing us. And also we do Sarvopari Satkartavyam. We do our Kartavya. We do our moral responsibilities with utmost due diligence. And also we take it seriously. We take the instructions of Paramatma seriously because we believe in Paramatma. And what Paramatma? The Paramatma mentioned as Paramatma by Paramatma in the Vedas. Acharya beautifully says, ईश्वर किसको कहते हैं? ईश्वर उसको कहते हैं जिसको ईश्वर ईश्वर कह रहा है वेदों में. Who is Almighty God? Almighty God is that who is described as Almighty God by Almighty God in the Vedas. So, Sarvopari Satkartavyam Paramatmanam Manyante. We must follow the instructions of Paramatma as our Sarvopari Kartavyam. And the Kartavyam, what the moral responsibilities, what we have to follow in our life, must be Sat Kartavyam. Must be, Sat means truth, must be based on the true Vedic knowledge. So then what happens when we follow the instructions of Paramatma, when we follow the instructions of Rishi Munis, when we do the worship of Paramatma with Satya Bhavana, here Almighty God, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati writes, Tan means those people, Unko, Tan means those people who are worshipping, doing Upasana here, Tan Dayalu Ishwaraha Papa Acharanam Margat Pritakritaya. Paramatma will remove us from the Pap Acharan. Paramatma will remove us means what? Paramatma will inspire us to do good karma. Paramatma will never inspire Jivatma to do bad karmas. Paramatma always inspires us to do good karma. So when we worship Paramatma through the Vedic path, Tan Pap Acharanam Margat, those people Pritakritya, Paramatma will separate those people from Pap Acharan and Dharamya Marge Chalayitva, and Paramatma will put us to follow the Dharma path. When we start worshipping Paramatma, when we start believing in this Paramatma, when we dedicate our life to follow the instructions of Paramatma, then that Dayalu Ishwara will inspire us to stop our pap karmas and will take us towards the dharam marg. Dharamya marge chalayitva. Then what will happen? Vijnanam dattva. Vijnanam means realization. Tattva gyan. Vijnanam means tattva gyan. Jnana, karma, upasana, vijnan. Gyan means to understand that fire is hot. I am reading in a book that the fire is hot. If you keep your hand in the fire, your hand will get burnt. This is my reading knowledge. I don't have that experience. But suddenly I experience it by mistake. My hand is kept in the hot pan. By mistake, I keep my hand in the hot pan. And then immediately I take it off and it is burnt. So I understand now I have Tattva Gyan. Never I will do that again. Never in my life I will do that again. I will be very careful, right? We will all be very careful with fire, electricity, etc. because we have that experience either directly or by seeing our relatives, seeing our friends. They have burned their fingers, they have got electric shock. So we are doubly careful. This is called as Vijnanam. So Paramatma will give the Vijnanam of what? Not Vijnanam of shock and fire. Paramatma will give the Vijnanam of Dharma Acharan. Vijnanam Dattva means Paramatma will give the knowledge of the Vedas. Tattvagyan realize kara deta hai. Then what happens? Dharmartha kama mokshan sadhum samarthan. Par dharma artha kama moksh Paramatma will give up to moksha. Then karoti tasmat sarvam. Tasmat isliye. See, because Almighty God is making us and putting us in the path of dharma, tasmat isliye sarvam, all of us, what we must do, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati writes, ekam advitiyam ishwaram vihaya. Ekam, this advitiya Parameshwar, leaving this, vihaya means leaving this one Paramatma who is advitiya, there is no second Paramatma. Leaving this one omniscient, omnipresent, magnificent Paramatma, leaving this Paramatma, kasya api upasanam kadachin naiva kuryuhu. Don't ever worship any other Almighty God as Almighty God, because there is no other Almighty God except then this Almighty God who is putting us in the dharmic path and who is giving us artha, dharma, kama, moksha and vijnanam, who is giving us the tattva gyan. Leaving this Paramatma, we must not worship any other power as Paramatma. If we worship any other imaginary power as Paramatma, then we will not get the result of Dharma Artha Kama Moksham. We will not get moksha, we will not get mukti, we will be continuously following the birth and death cycle until eternity. So this means also that anybody who is worshipping any other God, any other religious God, it could be Islam religion, Christian religion, Hindu religion, Jain religion, Buddhist religion, any religion, Sikh religion, if we worship the Paramatma who is not mentioned in Vedas as Paramatma, then we will not be able to escape the birth and death cycle. Fundamental law of Paramatma is unchangeable, unchallengeable. We must always worship Almighty God through Vedic path only. There is no other path. This is what Maharishi is writing. So what is this Veda mantra? Agnenaya supatarai asman vishwani deva vayunani vidvan yuyodhyasmad juhuranameno bhuyishtantena muktim videma. So by worshipping this Paramatma, bhuyishtantena muktim, we must do namah, we must do naman to this Paramatma by Uktim by Atyant Prashansa through Veda mantras. Stuti through Veda mantras. When we worship this Paramatma, then Paramatma will Yuyodyasma. He will take away. He will give us, actually Yuyodyasma means he will give us Pritak Gyan. He will give us the knowledge to separate things. That means knowledge to separate Jad and Chetan. He will give us the knowledge to separate what is sin, what is not sin, what is Punya Karma, what is Papa Karma. This kind of knowledge he will give. And Johurana Menam, he will make us separate from Papa Acharan. That's what Maharishi has written. Papa Acharana Margat Pritakrityaha. Paramatma will make this happen, make this possible, but only when we start worshipping Paramatma through the Vedic path. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.